Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, guys, to our channel. Join myself and Word on the Curb. Word on the Curb is back finally for this final review of Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 16, episode 17. Game over. It is the last hurrah for this season. And like I said, we finally got Word on the Curb back. Hey, Angela, welcome back.
Hey, it's good to be back.
Good to be seen and not
Yes.
viewed.
Not being viewed, huh? Yo, please view me. Yes,
Yes.
but I'm so
So let's
editing
get
one more
into
thing.
it, honey. We have made it. Now, let me just say this. Me and Angela started off reviewing Married to Medicine, and we started right at the cups of Real Housewives of Atlanta starting season 16. So we really been in this thing about 16 weeks with them, right? Give or take a
Yeah.
few. Um, so I'm proud of us. Let's give ourselves a hand clap. Yay! For the okay.
Girl, I
We
took
can do
everything.
good.
Girl, it took
We
everything.
did good. So, how did you enjoy the season so far? So, we are at the end. Before we get into this latest episode, hey, we want everybody to drop down in the comments. Let us know what you're rating this episode and what you're rating overall for the season. Who's your favorite breakout like housewife, if you have any, and maybe who's your not so favorite? Who do you see returning next year? If they return, right? Doom, doom,
Yeah.
doom.
Well, for me, the MVP was Angela. Point blank, period.
Yeah, we give it up to Angela. Yay for
Yay.
Angela. I did
Yes.
I gave the girl some flowers, honey, all the flowers, because I really kind of said I think that Angela has been the best first season housewife.
Okay, yeah.
I
I would
really
definitely say
do.
that.
Hmm.
I would definitely say that. Hands down. Hands
Yeah.
down. I love it. What she brought. We came in talking about Brit because of the whole Kenya debacle, but Angela kind of, I mean, she came in, I think became one of the favorites.
She did.
So
And didn't Portia tell us that she was gonna give us something unexpected?
who was Angela?
Angela, at the beginning before the show aired, when it was getting ready to air, the girls were doing interviews and a lot of people were just kind of asking like what we could expect from the season. And I feel like it was Portia that kind of was saying like Angela, I think she said, and Brit, I want to say maybe she used Brit too, but I thought she said Angela for sure was gonna surprise us. And I mean, lo and behold, she did, honey.
Yeah, she
She did
did.
a
She
little
really did.
different.
I would agree. She really did.
I say for Angela, you could write a book, honey. Do Housewives 101 things to do as a first time housewife, okay? Because I think she knocked it out the park. Not just for Atlanta housewives, but I'm actually saying this for housewives across the board.
Okay.
And it's funny to say that because like I said in the video yesterday, don't forget to hit the like button, guys, and subscribe to our channels. But
Yes.
I said in the previous video, so I did Housewives of Atlanta. I did episode 16. I did that yesterday because I've been a little behind too, but I got it up. But I actually said that she was the best out of all of the franchises simply because even though other housewives like Portia, Cynthia, Phaedra have come on after the conception and they've had other seasons outside of that first season. And of course, that would lend an ear to say that they had good first seasons. which I guess is true, right? I don't think those three I named had bad seasons, first seasons.
Uh-huh.
However, where Angela is concerned, Angela really didn't have much going on, really, right? She,
Uh-huh.
and so, but yet she is in everything.
She sure is. She really
And
is.
not like Drew, not like Drew, just kind of throwing out, whatever, seeing what a stick, seeing what the people like. Um, she's just kind of being what I guess is authentically her.
Yeah.
And listen, that's what we like from Housewives, whether the people know it or not. We like the drama, but we like the authentic Housewives. So shouts out to Angela. We definitely are preparing to see her next season, if there
Yeah.
is a season.
Mm-hmm. I was trying to figure out how to get this off private, so excuse me.
Oh, no problem, no problem.
Oh.
Um, so who do we think? Shamea was disappointing. Shamea was disappointing for me. What about you? I
Like
feel
I
like
was gonna
when we
say,
first started off, we were really excited for Shamea.
yeah,
I
we were really excited for her, but I'm not gonna say
did.
disappointing. I mean, just like she's about to like the rest of them. I think. I mean, I just like I said at episode 13, I kind of just fell flat on it. Period. I mean, it just wasn't. I don't know. It just wasn't giving it to me. Then when I went back and watched it, I'm like, okay, the Grenada thing. All right, then we get the inside scoop on everything. But I don't know. Season 16 was not so sweet to me.
Just a little sour, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I hate that it seems like Shamea and Portia are not friends. Um,
That's Shamea's fault.
no, I think it's both of them. I go there. I think it's both.
I think you're right. It's for sure both parties, but I think I am sticking to my, and I feel like this last episode really did solidify it for me. But I'm sticking to my guns about it. I feel like Shamea breached this friendship.
I think Portia did. And I'm not gonna say it happened this season, but I feel like Portia been breached the friendship when she
Mm,
let Phaedra talk about Shamea.
okay.
So I far as I mean, I hate to see that I mean, even I guess with me and my friends, and I know we're not on the public, whatever, but I wouldn't want the whole public to know how if we could save face in front of the camera, then save face. But it was kind of evident because, when they were doing all the press, we never seen Portia and Shamea together. And then Candy said it on one of her lives, like, they really ain't messing with each other right now. So, and I hate to see that the cousin passed away, and it seems like just the way it looked that Portia, like, okay,
It seemed like Shamea was finding out from Phaedra.
yes,
I said that in the last review. You're right. It
mm-hmm.
did that last scene from episode 16 where Phaedra lets all the girls know that Londi passed away, and we see Shamea kind of have, a reasonable reaction because of course with her friendship to Portia, I'm sure she had a close relationship with Londi as well. But I agree. I had this moment where I was like, ooh, that kind of sting if
Yeah.
if you just finding out from Phaedra and on camera, and I agree that the reunion clips have validated because I think I was holding out hope for their friendship, right? I was
Mm-hmm.
holding out hope for them to get through the season. I was holding out hope for them to save face, for the public about not really letting us know what's happening,
Yeah.
letting the things play out. So I was really kind of leaning into that. and really hoping that by the time we got to the reunion, we would find them in a better place, back in the place we know them to be, for lack of better words. Um, However, from the clips and from this last episode, it's evident that they're not. And it's kind of like the tale as old as time, in a sense, about getting on this show and having things play out, then having to relive them when you watch them air, because not only are you now reliving what you actually lived, right? Like whatever happened, but now you're getting commentary from other places that you
Yeah.
didn't know when that stuff was happening. And so now here you go again, and it's hard to not reopen those types of wounds.
Yes.
Because that, like I say, there was a breach of trust. I do understand where you're coming from to say, Portia, breach it first, back when, that happened with Dungeon Gate. And I can agree with that. But where I am sitting today, I am going to go as far as to say they had overcome that. Whether I think they should have or not is one thing. But the fact that they had continued a friendship would say to me they had gotten past that, right? And so when we come now with this new cast of girls, you don't know them from Adam. And you I feel like it is evident, even the girls are not making it all up. It's evident that Shamea has shared some things that are questionable with these strangers. And that's kind of like, it ain't like you sat and talked to Lauren. It's not like you sat even talked to Cynthia, one of the other Phaedra. You know what I mean? Like one of the other ladies that you maybe have known for some other time. You literally went and pulled these strangers to the side and talk shit about me.
So okay, my question is too. Could you remember how they were episode 1, Shamea was supposed to be the glue.
That's what we
No,
thought. That shit fell apart.
but I mean the glue to all these other friendships,
To the
right?
friendships, yeah.
She was the common person. So how was her and Brit and Kelly supposed to be friends? I mean, like, how did that work?
Well, if at least to me, it just seemed like a group friendship. It seemed to be that Brit and Kelly were friends, and of course, being introduced to the group, now they just are friends with Shamea. But then the
They
rift
weren't friends before. Kelly and Brit was not friends before this whole.
It don't seem like it for them to fall out over stylists. It wouldn't say to me that they were friends before this show.
I'm like, wait, what happened now?
I don't think they were.
I was having a hard time following that, and I don't like the styles anyway.
I mean, I agree that it's not like he running around here really doing much, but I also would think that I'm not understanding what the problem is, unless I'm going here with Brit, because I feel like Brit is a habitual line crosser, and what I would dare to say, the same way she violated Kelly's information last episode, the same way she pulled that cat out the bag on Shamea on this episode, I'm willing to think she may have breached Brit's trust with the stylist. So remember last year or year before, whichever year this was, with Drew and her assistant and Sheree.
Yeah.
Because I find it hard to believe in a place like Atlanta that these girls are not in some way sharing some type of stylist, beautician, nail tech, brow tech. Like the girls are sharing somebody, because not everybody is, doing A1 service. So with that being said, going back to Drew and Sheree with the assistant, it was the assistant coming back to tell Drew, like Sheree don't pay her bills and XYZ.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing. What I'm gonna say about this, just kind of, I've never been to Atlanta. I don't know the atmosphere from Adam. However, from what I've watched on TV, I would say, yeah, that probably happens a lot where the stylist is working with one person and the other person and going over to tell this, tell these secrets over here to that person, the other one telling these secrets, to that one. So Brit feels like a shyster to me. I think that she probably did infiltrate Kelly's team, whether she thought she was invited to it or not. But I think it was further beyond that. I think she may have told some of Kelly's business to that team, and it got back to Kelly. And Kelly's not saying that. Instead, she's telling her team, "Don't work with her." It can't be over just Styles. That's how I got all the way there, y'all, because I'm telling you that it can't be over just clothes. Like
It can't be. It can't be. I'm like, oh my God.
it cannot be just clothes. So it's gotta be that Brit shared some of her personal information with them people.
Or one thing I would say too, if I'm working with my team and then I volunteer them to you, but if it feels like they're lacking with me and I'm getting the short end of the stick, then I would probably ask you to, hey, you need to find somebody else because we're already on the same show. And when they kind of did those flashbacks and you see that the team was kind of dressing them like the Bobbsey twins to me,
Yeah.
you know, and then you got to think about it because I don't care what Kelly say. She is not no 5'1".
What you think she's shorter?
Hell yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm like, she's short and hell not taller.
No, I think she like 4'9". She looks to me like Tiny's.
She looks tiny to me too.
I mean, but she looks like Tiny Harris's size. She looks that petite and little to me. And because for Phaedra to keep calling her strawberry shortcake, and I'm like, I think like Phaedra's like 5.
Sure herself.
Yeah,
right. That's what I thought.
5'4".
Because you barely meeting the 5 feet mark, and you got the nerve to call somebody else short.
So I said she gotta make Phaedra look tall. So I think I'm like, she is so little. So maybe what I'm saying is the stylist might, okay, Brit has the ideal body. She's tall. She has the model body. Whereas probably when they're looking for stuff for Kelly, a lot of stuff probably has to be altered. Definitely. Because she's so short.
Right.
So and then things may fit the other girl better.
Right.
And I think that's why some of that.
So you saying the stylist just likes working with Brit better because it's easier to style her?
Probably so.
Okay, I can see that. I could very well see that. Yeah, I can see that.
Because it seemed like the looks looked better on Brit than it looked on Kelly.
I can see that for sure.
So I don't know. So especially girl, them damn reunion dresses. I'm like, oh my God. What the
honey? Ooh, wee, honey. What was your favorite look from the reunion? Looks.
It's between Shamea with Portia.
Yeah, for sure. I think we all, and even my poll on YouTube, I think it has Portia leading with her being the fave, but Shamea right behind. I put Shamea at the top, but again, Portia right behind. And when I say at the top, actually, I probably gave Shamea the top just because I thought her dress was a little bit more creative. I liked the beading. I liked the, like the little flower petal details. It was giving me a little African garb type of, I don't know, look to it. I liked all of those things.
Who was the worst to you?
So I did, excuse me, y'all. I put Phaedra.
I had her as the worst.
I put Phaedra as the worst. And here's the thing. It wasn't horrible.
Yeah.
But I did not expect that from Phaedra. And while I know Phaedra gives us the sexy, the body yada yada, I still look for Phaedra. Like, I actually like Phaedra's style. I think it's similar to my style where there's a covered sexiness to it. You know what I mean? Kind of like illusion. So I was surprised that she had that top on and there was not like a sheer wrap around it to at least give you an appearance of being covered.
Girl, when I looked at her, I just thought under the sea. As I was
yeah,
like,
okay, so what is the thing? So isn't it like a creature or something that's got
I
like
think
the crown on their head?
I thought of Atlantis. That's what I thought of.
Atlantis. Okay, that I think I said Zeus, but Atlantis is what. Okay, yes, it's given all of that. So
Yeah.
yeah, where are you going? You didn't follow the theme. So really, me giving her the worst was those things.
Yeah, I mean, because it didn't look the worst. It just looked like a costume.
Exactly.
And
Yep. Like you was finna go perform on a play.
Yeah, or either just going to a Halloween party
somewhere. Anywhere but the reunion. I'm like, and Brit, not Brit, Kelly's was the most visually bad.
Yes.
Like visually. However, I mean, she tried. So that's why she got ahead of Phaedra just because she followed the theme. She tried, and it's her first. We're gonna give her.
Girl, that dress was ugly as hell. I said, what the hell is this? A tutu?
It's her first time. She didn't know no better.
Girl, it looked like a tutu with a train on it.
What y'all say in the comments? What y'all think about Kelly's dress?
I can't see the comments at all.
You can't see no comments?
No, just whatever we would do backstage. It don't show nothing here.
Oh, that sucks.
So, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's that was ugly. And then that I had the three worst was Drew, Kelly, then Phaedra. And I had I thought of
Drew in a kind of like in a favorites. I had her in the top 4. She was the bottom of the top, but she was in the top.
Yeah. I think if she didn't have the feathers on, it looked better.
I
just thought a big bird the whole time
because I felt like the feathers was giving Island Girl, yeah. And Drew, and listen, Drew needs a break. We're gonna throw the girl a bone.
I don't care. This is her third reunion.
It is, and we're gonna throw the girl a bone. Cynthia just pulled anything she could find out of her closet.
Yeah, she was a friend of, so she
and we can tell. Right?
She's like, it's a friend of, and honey, I'm going, girl. And when I leave here, I'm putting on my flip flops and I'm going to the beach.
Honey, flip flops, she putting on them Converse, okay? And she gonna tie that little dress up and be on her way. And listen, not for nothing, while she didn't try at all, she still did better than a few of the other girls, like a Phaedra, like a Kelly. Because I mean, it's Cynthia Bailey. Like when you that gorgeous, I mean, you could walk out in a paper bag and look better than most of us.
She was like, "Child, please."
Yeah, that's exactly what she said. Like, Rich said, "Give me that dress over there hanging up." Like I'm going to
what color I'm supposed to have? I got that color at home. Let me look at the back of the closet and put this dress on.
Okay. And I ain't mad at her. Yeah. I ain't mad at her. But I said
she wasn't supposed to be there the whole time, no ways.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And right, because they needed some more people on the couch. Yeah. They needed some more people on the couch. Phaedra, let's talk about her entrance really quick before we get into the episode. Phaedra's return. So what was she? Was it 3 episodes?
Did she come on the end of episode 12, right?
I
Then we
can't
had
remember.
how many episodes we had in Grenada? 3?
Yes, it was 3. Okay, so she did 4 or 5, right? 4
Somewhere
or
in
5,
there.
something like that. So what are we thinking about Phaedra's return? For me, so listen, this is what's funny. As we get into this was last episode. Phaedra did her event and she had her son Dylan.
And
They
Aiden.
did this pant line. And let's give it up for Dylan one more time. I forgot to do my
Girl,
voice, y'all.
they
But
did better than Sheree.
that's what I said, baby. He got them pants out fastened and straight to spin her head around and say, "She by Sheree."
I said, go ahead.
She by Sheree. Spring, summer, September.
Yes.
Dylan said, "You can expect them by tonight." Don't play with Mr. Dylan, honey. You can expect them by tonight. Okay, not spring, summer, or September. So yeah, listen, I hate to be making fun of Sheree that way, but baby, you need to go dig yourself in a hole somewhere. Here I go. Dwight at the place. Was Dwight in the building for the fashion show with fashions? That boy literally showed us fabric at the top of the show, and we saw him walking down in pants by the end.
Mm-hmm.
It took Sheree 14 years to make her a logo and slap it on somebody else's clothes.
But that was the oldest boy looking at fabrics, not the youngest one.
Not the youngest one. And no, it was when Phaedra went into the room. She went in. She said, "Oh, this is where you at." So he had pulled up the snake skin.
No. I thought you were talking about the. Girl, I'm getting it mixed up. Was it Married to Medicine? Yeah, it was Married to Medicine. Remember her and the boy went out looking for fabrics, the oldest one.
Oh, okay. I can't. So listen, I can halfway remember anything that Phaedra did on there. She gave so little. She
said something about him or something.
Listen, she was like a blurb in the whole season because just with last episode and showing the boys, I don't even think that was a 5-minute scene. But I swear I left that scene and I felt like we got more out of Phaedra in that 3 to 4 minutes than we did in all her seasons on Housewives prior. In the 2 seasons she spent over there and Married to Medicine. I don't know. Somebody must have got in her ear and said, "Honey, if you get back on this stage, you're gonna have to bring it." Because she gave us that. And I did say this too in the previous review. I'm gonna give Phaedra her props. She's not my favorite. I absolutely was not even looking forward to her returning, but I laughed when she came back. Like,
I just start cutting the girls down.
Yeah, so okay, I guess Phaedra coming back wasn't a bad idea after all,
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, and we can say a lot about her being a liar or having, a strange relationship with the truth. But she is doing a damn good job with those boys. And that's what, like I said, going back to that, just to see that, like I said, that little 3 to 5 minutes, whatever it is, it showed a lot. And that's funny to the point of reality stars always kind of blaming editing about some of the edits that they get. While I guess that can be valid, right? Because things can be taken out of context. But I feel like that just really showed and solidified that they can only work with what you're given.
Yeah.
And so if you ain't able to get your story told, maybe it's because you ain't telling it. And because we can see the camera picks up things you're not trying to show, in addition to whatever it is you're going out your way to show us. So like that's what I feel like I took from that scene with Phaedra, watching her with those boys. Seeing Dylan, just kind of blossom. I love that she's able to fortify his love of fashion. Another thing it made me remind, going back to Sheree, let me give one more dig to Sheree. Sheree, you ain't off the hook yet. But it also reminded me, going back to first season, I think it was first or second season, But when Sheree first started telling us about She by Sheree, remember 15 years ago, um, she had went and got the guy. What's his name? Michael from Project Runway.
You talking about the last guy? Where she didn't have.
No,
Okay, all right.
this is going back to the first
First
season.
time. Okay.
Yeah, so I think I can't remember if his name was Michael. For some reason, I'm thinking his name is Michael, but it could be Sean too, because that's coming in my head for some reason. Anyway, he was first or second season a Project Runway contestant. He didn't win, but he did go to he was a finalist.
Okay.
And so she had reached out to him to try to get his services to sew. He's a designer. And in that meeting that they had, he kind of told her, he said, listen, because she doesn't know how to sew. She had no interest in learning how to sew from what we could see in that episode. And as we saw with Dylan, just to compare these two people, what we saw with Dylan, like Phaedra said, he couldn't find pants in his size the way he wanted them made, and he decided to learn how to sew so he can make him some. But going back to what Michael told Sheree, it's like you're not a designer if you're not able to be a seamstress. Like you have to know how to sew. And if you give it you want to come up with the ideas and then hand the work off, to somebody else to do it, that's not necessarily being a designer. And you're not even capable of knowing what's right and wrong with your own garments. So, that's what he was explaining to her, which again is why we understand it took her 14 years to make her a logo and slap it on some other clothes, because she could have been did that. That's what they were doing in Tag's boutique, girl. Anyway,
because remember, even was it season 14 where she did the finale? Was that it? Yeah, the finale, and she had all that nice stuff on there, and then none of that shit was on the website. No, because she never paid the guy, and the guy put her on blast, and she still never. I said, if it's something that's supposed to be your passion, your thing, that is only her storyline, right? Because if that was her passion, she would have learned how to sew.
At least a blanket. I know how to sew a pillow.
Girl, yes, we learned that in home ec.
Well, I had to teach myself because I didn't learn that in home ec. I tried to learn how to do a teddy bear, but the teddy bear did not come out right. Hey, Miss Dogan. Hey, cousin Cruz. So that's my community is the cousin. We the internet cousins, okay? Okay. That's the cousin Cruz. Say hey, thanks for joining us.
Hello.
Okay, no notification. We're gonna have to YouTube, y'all gonna have to get on top of that. Okay. What was we talking about back with Phaedra? But yeah, like I said, hell, I guess I don't know nothing, because I was saying Phaedra didn't need to come back, and clearly we did need her. We needed that little comic relief at the end.
They did it.
We have been through it, I think, by that time.
And I was listening to Carlos King before I came on here, and I thought they made a good observation. How they said, how Brit would have probably had a better season if they was going to get rid of Kenya. They should have not filmed any, showed any of the Kenya stuff. That way, Brit didn't have to be the victim the whole time.
And I agree.
I said, oh yeah, I agree with that totally, because we never got any closure from that.
It's this stain on this season that is just that.
Because even when they show the like the what do you call it, the blast from the past at the beginning, they showed nothing with Kenya in it.
I mean,
flashback, none of it. I thought, okay, no Kenya.
Well, you know what? I remember, this is so funny. That's why I was using the term when it first happened and we was doing the reviews. I was kind of talking in terms of like TV land, as fast as Kenya is there, and she, we see her, the fastest she gets erased from like she never existed, on the whole thing. What reminded me of that, two things happened. They've done that before. They've done it to Kenya before, and that is when she wore the warrior costume.
Okay, the Indian thing.
So if
Okay.
you go back and watch that episode on Peacock, you can hear her voice, but they won't show her on camera.
Oh, okay.
Because part of the dialogue is she was there. You know what I mean? So but they won't show her. But they did that to Nene also. Nene, I don't know which fallout this was with the network. It might have been one of the first couple of fallouts with the network because, they cut Nene out of the clips. They wouldn't show her in if they flash back to something that happened, in the previous season, they would not show her. They might show her, you might could hear her voice, but you wouldn't see her face. And so that's the land of TV. That's how it works. But I do agree. Speaking of, I don't know what is going to come about of this lawsuit that Brit has filed. It is very thirsty. It's very low-hanging fruit. It sucks that she has this you kind of got this brokey vibe going on, and then you kind of pulled this brokey move with this lawsuit. The only thing that I thought of that I think could possibly help Brit and turn the scale in her favor, because we know defamation. I feel like defamation, suing a reality show or a production company for defamation on the reality show is absurd. It's a reality show. You literally sign a contract that tells you we can show you whichever way we decide.
Especially when you say something that she felt like she was kind of sexually harassed, and then she going to get butt naked.
Yeah, it doesn't add up.
No.
But the one thing that I feel like sticks out with me, and that I'm interested to find out if we are going to ever find it out, is her claim that she never got to see the photos, and that she did not see them until the day before filming the reunion, and that is when she realized whatever, it wasn't her. I only think that because that does feel like that's some sort of breach of something. And I don't know. I don't know if defamation is included in that, but it feels like maybe harassment. It feels like maybe bullying. It feels like you did work against her to create a narrative that she wasn't included in. If that's true.
Yeah, if that's true. I believe
Yeah,
it's
if
her.
that's true. I don't know. It
I don't
doesn't
think I would have
seem
had those conversations with my mom about me sucking no peen.
and I ain't known that was me actually on the picture. I kind of
Exactly.
agree with you.
Girl, ain't no way in hell I would have. They
I
gonna
kind of
show it
agree
to
with
me.
you, baby. You know what? I 1000% agree with you, honey. You gonna have to show me the picture
Something.
before I tell my mama that that's what is that's what's going on.
I'd be like, it wasn't me. Shit. And we see how her sisters look.
I agree, Angela. I agree. Yeah,
Girl, I wouldn't have been crying at all.
100%. No way in hell would I be having that conversation. I would literally have that picture right in my hand so I can show it to her, because I would need you to know that I'm not sitting here playing these games with you.
Because I thought she had lawyered up. So you telling me you got a lawyer and you couldn't get them pictures from them?
Yeah.
Or see it? And then Kenya get fired and it's not even you.
Mm-hmm.
Or not fired. She's not able to film, whatever.
And that goes back to what we debated in the beginning, at the fact that they both should have been gone.
Yes.
For that. They both should have been gone. Because both things had a reaction. And while Kenya took it, to another level, it was them two engaging together. And as we see, Brit never really backed down. She had the locks. She threw out Kelly had an abortion while she was married. She just blurted out that Shamea is cheating on her husband.
Girl, okay, you ready to start?
Yes, let's get started. Let's get started. Go ahead. Let's get into this episode, y'all.
Okay, this is season 16, episode 17. Game over. Thank God, game is over.
It's been a hell of a season, okay?
Girl, hell of a season. Okay, so we have Portia and her sister, Lauren, and they're going over to Phaedra's, and they're speaking with Phaedra about Lundy. Is that how you pronounce her name?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, Lundy, the cousin who passed away. And it was said, or maybe I misunderstood wrong, but was Lauren on the phone with her when she passed?
That's what Lauren said, yeah.
Okay, so anyway, Phaedra is helping with the planning the funeral and I guess the body. What do you think about that?
Well, rest in peace to Lundy. I'm glad that we are seeing this kind of play out. We knew that happened from social media. We're not really clear what happened, but clearly it sounds like she may have had some type of cardiac arrest or, episode or stroke or something like that. My heart goes out to Lauren. I had no idea, of course, up until this episode that she happened to be on the phone with her.
Girl.
And I just thought my heart kind of like fell into my stomach. Just the thought of that.
Yeah, God, I couldn't even imagine that.
Yeah, I absolutely could not imagine. So my heart really, really does go out to Lauren. And I follow Lauren on social media, so it actually explained a lot about the way she posts about Lundy. Of course, she's close to her, and that's her cousin, so we would expect nothing less. However, just knowing that little tidbit of information just kind of validated that there's this extra heightened sense of loss for her.
Yes.
In that aspect. So I thought Phaedra was inappropriate as usual when she asked Portia about the pastor, talking about, ain't he cute?
Yeah.
But this is what I thought was strange. For a family who has the Hosea Foundation, they're known in Atlanta. Why would Phaedra need to refer a pastor to you for a homegoing service? Like they go to a go-to pastor or a go-to church? I thought that was interesting.
Girl, I don't know. I kind of almost felt like they was doing it for the scene.
Yeah, I think so too. That Faye works for the premier funeral service in Atlanta. Willie Watkins, right?
Yeah, but they got nothing to do with it. It seemed like she would have had her own pastor, though.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought that was strange that Phaedra would need to refer a pastor for a family that's been, that's kind of have
established in this place. There. Yeah. So like they should have a home church and everything else.
Right.
I just thought, I honestly felt like it was for TV. And I really felt like that because it seems like I don't know if Lundy has a mother, has sisters or whatever. Why would not Phaedra, but Portia be the one, her and her sister be the one making funeral arrangements? I mean, because that's just your cousin. I mean, unless she was the only child and didn't have a mother or father or something, I don't know. It just
she did say I think they said in the scene like, oh, like her mom and sister wouldn't be able, like they kind of were taking that on for them. But I kind of agree with you. It probably was just a scene, and really a scene to just include Lundy and incorporate that information into the episode. We did see Lundy on this season. Earlier in the season, she held a party. with the pamper party,
Uh-huh.
and we got introduced to Londi officially during Portia's Family Matters. Y'all remember that debacle?
I never watched that.
Girl, you need to.
I might do it. I might just go do it.
Girl, you need to. It was funny. And like I say, a debacle, not to mention. But so we got to know her a lot more during that particular show. So I think it was just Bravo's way of just giving Panda some respect to her and to the audience. Because she is somebody we've probably seen in passing.
Okay. All right. So yeah, and then they talked about having about the butterflies on the plate, and Lauren said she's been seeing a lot of butterflies, and then Phaedra had mentioned maybe we can have a butterfly release, and then Portia, does she just play dumb for the camera? Is that it? Is she supposed to be like the ditzy blonde?
So have you ever watched Nick Lachey and Jessica Simpson, the newlywed?
I remember it, but I didn't watch it. Okay.
So when she said that it was something about the tuna, about the chicken, like chicken don't live in the sea or something, because the can says chicken of the sea.
Okay. So okay.
I'm saying, listen, I might have some blonde moments, not maybe to that level, but
do the butterflies come back to the owners?
Yeah, I thought it was funny.
She said, that's what I'm wondering, if this is supposed to be hers, because I couldn't believe that she actually thought the Underground Railroad was a railroad.
No, I could believe that too.
You thought,
and see, like, here's the thing. Well, no, I didn't think that. Now let me.
Okay, I was gonna say I didn't. I'm like, she can't be that damn dumb.
Let me make it clear and plain for everybody listening. I did not think that the Underground Railroad was a real train. However, just to be fair, I would not have known that if somebody didn't make it clear that it wasn't. So all I'm saying is, if ain't nobody really sat down and had, and said nothing to you, and you just listening to what you listening to, I guess that's how you thought that the Underground Railroad had an underground train.
Okay, at 15, yeah, but not in my 30s.
Yeah, I forgot she was like well into her 30s. Okay, yeah, you're right. Okay, I tried. You're right.
I'm like, so is that like supposed to be her shtick? Like she's supposed to kind of be that bubbly kind of blonde equivalent?
I feel like it's not her stitch, but I think it's a yes and a no.
Okay.
I think that is, since she's been on, she's been the naive girl. You know what I mean? She when she came in, she was younger than everybody else. She was married to Cordell. Damn, there was a whole nother person. If we really, think about it. She was like a Stepford wife. Ain't that what we used to call her?
Yeah.
So, so I don't, I think it's a little bit of her. The naivety, of her. Say Portia said the mama just couldn't do it. Let's see. Right, it was hard for him. Okay. Her granddad is a civil. Well, right, we got to it. Her role is definitely the dumb blonde cheerleader.
It's gotta be. I'm like, okay, Portia. So then our next, the next thing we go on to is Angela and the head doctor, Dr. Wendy, the therapist, and she's there trying to figure out. I mean,
I thought that's what they used to call Phaedra back in high school.
Yes, they did.
Okay.
But okay, so Dr. Wendy, and not to be confused with Potomac, this is an old white lady over here. So Dr. Wendy, she's there. She has been the therapist for Charles and Angela for quite a while. She said she's like the third party to their marriage, and she's discussing the fact about losing their homes, that her investment homes, and how it was such a financial burden. She's trying to figure out who sit that Marcus to say that Charles is cheating on her. And she has real issues, and she's really hurt by it. I mean, because some people think that she planned, set this whole thing up. I don't think so, unless she's a good actress. But
Angela?
yeah, some
Okay.
people think she set that whole thing up and try to.
When we get to the bottom of the episode, I'll give my opinion about it. Listen, I just gave Angela all her props. I'm gonna keep giving her props about the season. But it is looking a little faulty about it being Phaedra. That feel a little too easy. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
It's one of them.
What I do think what I thought was interesting, this goes back to why we love Angela and why she's had a great first season and why she should write a book on how to be a housewife. First season, knock out the park, because she's being authentically herself. Now, whether she's waiting on somebody to pull the cat out the bag, by the time we get to the end of the episode, and by the time Phaedra pulled what she got in her bag out, little do she know, she done already sat on this lady's couch and gave us the whole 411. So what Funky don't even tell us? Don't you let nobody spray you with your own tea. And so yeah, that's first season housewife. We like authenticity. I don't know if that's a word. I just made that up. But you know what I'm saying? We like for people to be who they are. And go ahead and tell your stuff, because it is gonna come out, right? So you might as well go and sit on that lady couch and talk to her about how you got to save your marriage because you have been in debt and your husband is tired of paying for these houses that are not selling.
Yes.
But I also think that her talking to the therapist to kind of reiterate where her and Charles are in their marriage now, that she trusts Charles now. She already has said that Charles has cheated in the past. And remember, going back to those first reviews we was doing when they had that conversation in the kitchen of one of those properties. And it was about the boy, right? Because that was the first thing, trying to figure out the kids' ages or something. Oh, no, it wasn't about the kids' ages. She was talking about them splitting up for after Madison Square Garden. Now she's telling us it was only a few months. Either way, all I knew then was that she was already giving us the crumbs to some stuff that potentially would be something that somebody could bring out, like your husband is cheating on you. I feel like the way that Marcus came, it was so like clearly planned.
Yes,
You know,
planned.
it feels like I don't know why I don't know why she even is going as far as to figure out the information she's wanting to figure out, because it just feels so, it doesn't feel like it's worth her energy. But I mean, hey, it got her another season because she threw Phaedra right under the bus. And keep throwing her right under the bus. So for what it's worth, she believes that Phaedra did it, and she believes whatever she got is proving that Phaedra did it. And the thing that I will think about, or that I did think about when I was thinking about this in my own head, is you never can win when you play dirty. Remember when Phaedra and Nene had that back and forth on the reunion? That had to be Phaedra's second season, because I don't know if it was her first season. I want to say her second season, but Nene called her out about reaching out to her sister.
Yeah.
And so from Athens. So hey, I'm like, it seemed to add up from Angela's mouth. But I see her setting us up for the play. And again, go ahead, Angela. I don't know who gave her the 411. Somebody told her what to do because it's like she producing, but it don't look the way that the other girls do when they be producing themselves.
Oh, girl. I think she had her head all in the mix when it came to Shamea and Portia. And help tear down that relationship there.
You know what? That was an easy thread to pull.
Yeah, but I believe that
But that's what I'm going back to Shamea. I am not letting Shamea off the hook about it because, and that's what I mean. It was an easy thread to pull because as soon as you sat your tail down and started saying anything that sound like were agreeing with them, that was dissing your friend, that was it. That was it. That is not loyal at all. Like it's not at all. But I get like you said, to be fair, I guess Portia did it to her. So what's good for the goose is good for the gander, huh?
Yeah. It ain't funny when the weather gets the gun, huh?
She thinks Phaedra did it, even if she didn't. Yeah, she certainly does. She seemed to think Phaedra got it. Okay. I
can't say that.
I can't say it right.
Not today. It's okay. So from there we go on to she also says that she feels like, because they keep coming at Charles and he's an easy target. And right now she's in fight mode. And that's pretty much all that's that. She just wants people not to be fucking with her. So we go on to Shamea's concert. And Drew with all the shade.
Baby, now them shading each other about these songs, it took me back to Sheree and Kenya with the house.
Oh Lord.
I thought I didn't like Shamea's shade towards Drew at the radio station, some season, a couple episodes or whatever. Yeah. Like I didn't like that because Drew is not my favorite housewife, but I keep it 100. To my knowledge, Drew been singing longer than you have. Now I like, or to the public's knowledge, how about that? Because we had no idea that Shamea was coming on Real Housewives of Atlanta to have any type of EP, album, concert, or anything close to it. Of course, we knew Drew sang That's How We Met the Girl. Anyway, but Drew talking about she came in to see if the mic was on. I said, Lord. Now she about to check the woman tone, honey. Like,
so then we find out Cynthia was the one who carried the bone. Cynthia came there and let her know because she had to catch her flight to New York. So she let me do two things. I'm gonna come and see it, and I'm gonna let you know.
Get my friend contract out the way.
I'll let you know what Brit said about you. So she told her what was going on. We got Kelly and Brit. They're still not speaking to each other. In this scene, we got Miss Pat and RL from Next. And let's see here. Angela also talks about their Feed the Children event. So did everybody get their invitations? And then as we go, after she does her singing and she has, all these different outfit changes. The girls, they all meet and they talk. And then finally we get to the part I wanted to see where Shamea has to say something to Brit. So they're talking. Shamea brings up the fact that no wonder why she don't do shots, because you get butt naked. Brit tells her about her daughter. Your daughter ain't that sick. Then Shamea says something about Brit popping pills. She called it like she see it. Brit says Shamea is a cheater. And Shamea says that rumor been around since your cat was a kitty, and we know that was a long time ago. Then she also says, before that, Shamea calls her a lady of the night. So, what do you think about all that, girl?
Oh, Lord. So, number one, I'm throwing Shamea under the bus. This is again, Shamea was a disappointment this season. Shamea is the reason why longtime friends should not become full-time housewives. I had a thought that was going into the argument between her and Brit, and then I just lost it. Oh, it was about her daughter. So Shamea has led this narrative that Brit said something about her daughter.
Yes.
Which led us to believe that it had to be something
egregious,
rude. Yeah, I'm gonna use the word rude. Something that was inappropriate, right? Not something that was basically what I've been saying on my platform as well, which was kind of like speaking about the time you spend with your daughters and with all of the ailments. She gets on the platform in the confessional and she's listing down the different things. And like I say, I'm a mom, so I try to give grace. I don't want to tell other moms where they should be and how much time they supposed to spend with their kids. But what I think is that she to go and act like Brit said something damning about your daughter, and all she really did was comment on your parenting, which is what we did with Mia. And when you bring the situation into this platform, that's what happens. Like you didn't put it up actually for judgment, in that way. So I felt like it was a reach to do that. Brit is not the best person. We're not on her side, but Brit called it like she saw it in that manner. Sounds like it. Because yeah, you've been doing the same thing to us this season. You've been doing the woe is me. Like you literally were in Grenada. And again, the worst thing that can happen to a parent is they left their child, with a caregiver, and something happens, like to your child while you're out the country, not away, but out the country. And so like even with that episode, for that review, I think I remember saying like, I don't know that she was supposed to hop back on the plane and scurry over to her daughter, but considering the allegations that we heard, and again, nobody is pointing out that man said on the phone that lady threw that baby. I know we only saying that she had the baby cold, which was bad enough the way that it was described. But it sounds to me like maybe she was being physically abusive because he said she can't be throwing her like that. That's what he said.
Yeah, he said it, but I'm surprised a woman, if she threw that baby.
Well, maybe that's what I said. Maybe that was some other type of terminology in African language that means
something. We got a language barrier right there.
All I said is throw to me. You know what I'm saying? Like
I picture her being thrown across the room.
Trying to refer to when he using the term throw. She can't be throwing the baby like that. I don't know if he meant she can't be thawing out the baby like that. I don't know, because I was trying to figure out like what other word could he have been saying other than throw, because for some reason ain't nobody else upset about the fact that this man said that lady threw that baby. Okay. I heard him. But
I heard him too. I just pictured the baby being thrown across the room, but the woman ain't getting locked up. So I was like, well, maybe something else happened.
So again, that's what I want to know. But here it is. Shamea too busy trying to be a housewife. Oops.
But that's her job, right?
Is it?
Yeah, she getting paid for it.
I mean, what I think my point is that maybe this still was not the right time for Shamea. Um, and maybe being a housewife is not what you get to be. I don't know. Well, I mean, well, let me take that back. Clearly, she do get to be a housewife because she a housewife this season. But what I'm saying is, it seems like she gonna come under a lot of scrutiny about her child in that manner. And I think Brit was just doing that. So, and I think she do what people do, and I cannot stand when people do it. But she just took that to, oh, you mentioned something about my child, and got everybody on this bandwagon about it. And it was like, girl, like kind of how Portia did use egregious. Like, yeah, your mother did something so egregious.
Egregious.
My mother, we look at the episode like, did we miss it? Like, because
Yeah, her mama bought what Shamea mama bought the daycare that was up for auction, that was Portia's mom, that she could no longer keep. What was egregious about it?
Yeah, I don't know. Right, because egregious sounds real serious. Right?
Yeah.
Like the same as what Shamea did with that. Like, you said it and you left it up to everybody's imagination
Girl,
to
yes.
figure out what it is you were talking about.
And it wasn't that bad.
Really, she said what somebody on there probably should have said to you, which is like, girl, like how we did Mia. You sat up and cried for everybody about this, that, and the third. And then as soon as you got your tail on the plane, you went right to go see Ink. You didn't go see your child.
Giselle called her out and said, you are a bad mom.
And I would agree. Like, again, we try to give grace, but then sometimes, the shit ain't that pretty.
Yes. And then also, I was going to make another point too, about Shamea and her baby. Now, how old is this little baby again? Is she 1 or 2?
Well, she got to be about 2-ish, I'm guessing. I'm not really sure.
Because wasn't Shamea, before she got on the Housewives, wasn't she still on the radio?
That we knew of. I know for a while she had been. Yeah.
So she worked. So all I can say is, what we saw, yeah, I thought that was going to be, I thought she might have, let me shut up. I said something, bad about the baby. But it's the same situation. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Kind of with Melody and Miss Wanda.
Yeah, yeah.
Where she said, you talk about my baby.
Yeah, yeah.
And she was really talking about her, trying to figure out who the baby daddy was or whatever.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's like I can't stand when people do that. Like, girl, like, cut it out. Cut it out. Oh, I wanted to mention about the pill popping. So in my last review, I had forgot to mention that Kelly threw out the I think to Phaedra about talk to your pill popping roommate.
Yeah.
Shout out to Claudia. Okay, Claudia, wherever you are, we are talking about you. All right.
Chime in, Claudia.
Chime in, Claudia Jordan. And listen, I don't give you props very often, so go ahead and take these props, honey. Claudia cracked the code, because I feel like most of us, when we heard the dialogue, we kind of thought she was referring to
the husband.
But she's like, no, she had to be referring to her. And it did make sense. So I'm like, okay, Claudia, girl, we know you pay attention to everything that is Housewives. So we're going to believe you. I can't believe she going to had a nerve to talk about her going on the BET carpet, honey. Drew was there. She talking to Drew. And I feel like somebody else, I can't remember exactly who, maybe Kelly. But this is where I'm going.
Yeah, it was Drew, Kelly, and that was all there. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. This is where I'm going with it. Girl, who in the hell told you could give somebody advice on how to be a housewife? Claudia, you barely made it. Like, like you are begging and scratching at the housewife's door, and we are telling you, no, we don't want it. We don't want to see it. You do not have the inside scoop, key, or the secret to being a housewife. So listen up, Kelly, Drew, and whoever the hell else y'all was with. Whatever Claudia told y'all to do, throw it out the window and do the opposite.
Oh, you just say throw it out the window.
Throw it out the window and do the opposite. But she did crack the code on that, on the pill popping. But here's what I am gonna say too. I actually didn't bring it up in the review because it bothered me in the episode. It bothered me in the episode. And here's another thing. I don't take up for Brit very often either. That's how y'all know, cousins. Y'all know that I just keep it real, right? I just keep it real. Even though I might have favorites, I can be fair and I can keep it real. So they what did Phaedra happen to say, like, oh, she gave me a Advil PM or something. And who was it that described Brit having a bag of pills or something to that extent? I'm probably adding in the term bag because I'm speaking of something of another incident with Beverly Hills Housewives, and we're talking almost 10 years ago. Um, and so this is what I'm gonna bring up about what we do to each other, and we need to stop it. Number one, okay, maybe she is a pill popper, allegedly. Like maybe that is what she do, and that's why she don't take shots because she like to pop a pill instead of popping.
We see how it happened when they mix together. What happened?
Well, here's the other thing about that. We're gonna stop shaming people for having one, like one vice over the other. Is popping a pill that much different than taking 8 shots? I'm not sure. We understand about being able to hold your liquor, as we call it, but drunk is drunk is drunk. And so yeah, we need to stop doing that. So because maybe that is the way she get her rocks off, and she don't drink, she pop a pill. And I ain't saying one is right or better than the other. I'm just saying, how the hell you gonna shame her for popping pills when you always tossing some poison down your throat?
Because one is looked at as an addict,
and the other is. But that's from us, right?
Yeah, but most people pop pills are addicts.
Is we gonna go to Beverly Hills Housewives? Like I said, this had to be about a decade ago, close to a decade. They were on a cash trip. Somebody asked for something, I can't even remember. But Lisa Rinna pulls out a bag about this pills, just pills, blue pills, big pills, skinny pills, circle pills, pink pills. What I don't even. It was all kind of pills in that bag. And so yeah, she was like, oh, whatever. She's like, I don't know which one is it. Like it was this comical moment, but at the same time, she pulled out a big ass bag of pills and didn't know what any of the pills were. But let me tell you, after that episode aired, nobody said boo.
Oh,
nobody. And to this day, you have never heard anybody refer to Lisa Rinna as a pill popper. Now, here's the thing. We didn't even see Brit with eating pills in her fucking hand. Lisa Rinna had those pills dead in her hand. I don't even know how she got on the plane with those pills in a bag, in a Ziploc bag, the way she did. Maybe they was on a private plane, now that I'm thinking about it.
They should have been. And they should have been.
Yeah, maybe it was. Like, yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, they might have been on flying private. But so I'm just mentioning that. Like, again, I'm not alleging that means Lisa Rinna is a pill popper. I just didn't like that. I didn't like it at all. Yeah, I didn't like it. Because I feel like we don't do it. It's not across the board. I agree with you. I don't take pills. So yeah, somebody pull out a bag of pills. I don't care who you are. I'm going to look at you like you crazy. Because, like, what is going on here? But like I said, with it coming out of Shamea's mouth, for the whole time we've been watching Real Housewives of Atlanta this whole season, has there been an episode where Shamea not taking a shot? And I'm not saying, listen, I take shots, I drink. I'm not telling nobody, that there's anything wrong. I am just being an adult about it. And listen, addiction comes in all kind of forms. And just because you addicted to something legal doesn't make you any better. And I'm just gonna leave it there. All right. But yeah, I took up a Brit. Shamea. Because I feel like I think Shamea is on my like not naughty list.
Oh, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think she's on my. I don't think I like the way Shamea has behaved this season. I
Well, I
think
think it's
Shamea
always
has behaved quite thirsty.
and Brit isn't.
Yeah,
That's
oh,
all over
being thirsty goes without saying. Brit came in the place thirsty.
So we got after that, we got Kelly and her daughters. I was like, what the twins share a room? They probably was in her bed though. These little mini scenes. Kelly and her daughter, Ralph and Drew. Then we got Brit fake buying or renting a plane. And I thought to myself, lady, why are you out here look faking the funk like you about to buy this plane after that horrible event you had? You couldn't even pay for the people's lunch.
Couldn't even feed people, honey.
And then on
The
top of that, we
$250 she gave to the people of Grenada, honey. I don't even care that you didn't feed these other people who was coming because they just bottom feeders anyway. But you couldn't give people of Grenada more than $250.
no. The thing for me was she didn't know what to give, and I thought you're a woman who claimed to have this multi-million-dollar insurance agency, and you keep talking about how you're, like we're not. What did she say? Because when Shamea kept talking about the shots, and she said we're classy, and you say these words that you're classy, you're demure, and why do you have to ask somebody what you need to give? So that lets me know you are. And then when the scene was when Portia and Cynthia came over to her house, and we seen right there at the corner of the door all that junk piled up over there. I'm like, bitch, please.
That's what it is. Miss Dugan said, did y'all see that junky house? Yes.
Yes.
That's now what cracked me up about it was in Grenada, she said that she just wasn't that close to these girls, and that's why she hadn't invited them over to her house. Girl, you are a liar. Like, your house is under construction. That's why you didn't invite them girls. Here's the thing, and this is what I mean by Brit pull a brokey move with this lawsuit. Angela already confirmed, not that we needed any more confirmation, because if you've been watching Housewives long enough, you know first season does not get paid. But Angela confirmed on Call Us Kings, they don't get paid. They're not getting paid to be on this first season. That includes Brit. What we have seen Brit do is exhaust herself. Okay, she probably thought she was going to recoup some of wherever she got these funds to get these things that she's showing us on this TV. Because Dustin brought up a good point too about her dress. That dress that's like a Leah dress in her confessional. It's the red and black like zebra print looking.
Girl, I don't know. I have to go back and
Okay.
look.
Well, Aaliyah did wear a dress. I think her dress was white and black on the red carpet. So Dustin, like I said, pointed out because he was kind of making mention of if she's so broke, how does she have access, right, to some of these couture houses and these particular fashions? And all I'm saying is her ass wrote a check she can't cash. And she thought she was going to be able to get some of that money back by the end of the season, and it did not happen. So she feel like she gonna take it out of Bravo's ass. I think she got another thing coming, and I think it's the biggest mistake she could have made because, girl, you definitely have to go over to Zeus now. Nobody is about to touch it. Like,
but you know what? If she would have came to the reunion, I think they would have gave her another damn season. Because girl, she got some shit to answer for.
I agree with you. If she had come to the reunion, I think she would have gotten another season. The reunion, I feel her put. That's for me the reason why you fumbled the bag, like, tremendously.
Yeah.
You literally did something that most fans, even though we can't stand you, but how many fans have been waiting for Kenya to be ousted in some way, shape, or form?
Mm-hmm.
Even when it happened, before we was able to actually watch it play out, we all was kind of like, well, that's what Kenya get.
Yeah.
Like that was the first thing. Like, that's good. It was only a matter of time. Kenya was gonna do something that was gonna get her, get her ex. So you literally, like, even though she brought nothing to the season, you made waves in ways that nobody else would. So you, for the most part, you just should have played the long game, got there to the
Yeah.
third season, and so you could start, like, get your ducks in a row, like Drew has done. Somebody gave her the blueprint, like, okay, Drew, get it together. So by the time the paychecks come in, you ready to get you another LLC so you can get your husband off this old LLC, go revamp all your business so you can keep your money to yourself. Because we know Ralph been spending up all your money, and that's why you over here working like a dog.
Well, no. Ralph has a very good job, they say. Seriously. Yes. He makes more money than her. Yes. Girl is that legal went through their divorce papers.
Okay.
Yes, he's
okay. So he got his own money. Okay, he just act broke.
Yeah, he's in corporate America.
So let's see. What's this? Mally Buso? Do we think Kenya can come? I think Kenya is gonna come back.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Well, we understand, just like Phaedra, and Andy confirmed it on Watch What Happens, that Phaedra was on hold, right?
Yeah.
So, and we know that, like, that's what I've been watching Housewives for 18 years. Like, yeah, even though it started off with Atlanta, Nene was the first housewife that had to be put on pause. And then everybody else follows suit, right? And that's what we call it. We put them on pause, which means they're gonna fool with you again after a little while, after they figure out what they're gonna do with you. So that's what happened with Phaedra. So I'm saying, with Brit actually pulling this stunt, it kicked the door wide open for Kenya to come in. Kicked the door wide open. Brit definitely.
Yeah, she was definitely. Yeah. Yes, definitely. And with that, the whole thing with, I think, with Brit, I think she has this idea what housewives, being a fan of the show, what a housewives is supposed to bring. So she on here doing all this dumb shit, fake buying the car, fake buying a jet or whatever. I'm like, bitch, sit down someday.
Yeah, and I agree, it's so off balance. Not that, so this is a topic. Commenters, let me know, because I think I posed this question yesterday in the live, which is, when it comes to donating, is it okay to measure somebody's donation based off the lifestyle that they are presenting to you? Like, I feel like some things are what we call uncouth, right? And talking about money is one of those things. Like, so I agree that there should not have been a space. If you're driving a Rolls Royce, if you're carrying a Birkin bag, if you're wearing couture gowns, like, to go shopping, I don't think that anybody should have to have a conversation with you about an amount of money that's reasonable to give. I feel like that should be okay for me to assess what your level is from what you're presenting to me. So I didn't like how they kept saying, like, well, I asked you and you never gave me an amount, because that's crass. Like, if I asked you to donate something, why would I then turn around and tell you? Because that is spending your money for you.
Yeah. I think also too, what made her really look bad with that is how she pulled up with the little box of stuff that she was carrying. And then she said that she had more on the way. And evidently that more never came. So she should have just said, okay, here's some things. And I'm not sure. Whatever else I need to give, just let me know and I'll write a check. And that's what I would have done. Because I don't know what they're lacking, what they need.
Her kind of insinuating that she had more on the way. It would say to me that you did know that something was wrong with the level that you had.
Girl, yes. Girl, my grandkids could get that. Shoot. A couple more toilet paper and paper towel.
It was giving Drew and that Christmas gift with that tape recorder and that wig and that recycling.
It was worse than Drew.
It was worse than Drew. It you know what? It really was worse than Drew because we could see that Drew was broke on that first scene. And y'all ain't had no business asking that girl to bring $1,000 gift anyway, and y'all know she wasn't getting paid for these episodes. So you're right. It was worse. See, Brit, where she fell off at is you telling us about your 10-carat ring. You know what I'm saying? So like all of the like, and that's what like, listen, y'all, I'm telling you, I'm like that in real life. I tell people like your life needs to add up. You cannot be driving a luxury car. Like, okay, listen, people spend their money how they want to, but I don't think riding around in a Porsche or a Jaguar and you are renting an apartment, I don't think those two things like they don't match to me. That doesn't match to me. And you can sit up and try to convince me about how against it you are about purchasing a home, purchase a condo, but put your name on something, because I don't know why you would be driving something that's worth nothing and it costs more than where you lay your head. That don't match.
Yeah, it happens a lot though.
So that's what Brit went wrong for me. Like you presented this to us, and so the expectation was that you literally in that same place that you didn't feed all the people that you invited, you bragged about taking the staff that you once had that we never saw proof of,
girl,
that you took them all to get plastic surgery. Their choice, mind
exactly.
You.
So she did all that, but then come there with toilet paper and paper towels.
Yeah, right. Honey, I have more toilet paper in my closet than she brought.
I said, girl, you know that box went heavy. She carried that box. And she had on heels too. Girl, she should have had that check right along in that box.
Y'all, I am not even exaggerating because I go get my tissue and paper towel from Costco. And y'all know how you get it in Costco. I literally have more tissue and paper towel in my personal home than what she called herself showing up to go give to the people who've been through a hurricane. I can put my hands on more rolls of tissue than what she gave. That's why I said, where did they find this girl?
I wonder. I really wonder where she came from.
Not read the room. No, she can't. No, she cannot.
So after we get past the fake buying or looking at the jet, which happened that quick.
Honey, because I didn't even know she was looking at a jet. I'm glad you wrote it down because it would not have been in my notes.
Girl, when I saw it, I was like, it was her and her husband.
Oh, Lord. Oh, that guy.
Well, yeah.
That guy that she called.
I'm like, she's talking about her body and all this stuff, and talking, I guess, places they may plan to go on vacation at. And I'm sitting here like, is this bitch nuts? How in the hell you can do the least, but you up here faking like you about to buy this plane? And let me tell you, Carlos King said tonight, he said he would never. He said, unless you about to sign papers and walk out the door with that thing today, we ain't about to go and film nothing like that.
I mean, for real. For real. You look crazy. But you know what's interesting to me is how are you able to get in that predicament? Now, listen, maybe I just am in a different tax bracket. And so where I am from, when I go to a car lot, baby, they ain't letting you just decide which car you want to test drive. You have to qualify to test drive a car. You ain't be like, you know what? That 2025 Jeep Wrangler, let me go and take that for a spin. Baby, they're going to take your credit for a spin and make sure you can
afford. We had ours dropped off to us.
Huh?
We had ours dropped off to us. We kept it for 2 weeks before we bought it.
But I'm saying, didn't you have a pre-approval for it, though?
I don't know what my husband did.
I'm almost certain that you did. They like say you generally don't get to just say, go walk in the dealership and be like, I just want to test drive today. You know, like you
just give your ID and keep it moving.
Well, they gonna run something on you too. Because they're not finna let you get no keys to a car that you can't afford. But so I'm mentioning that to say I'm wondering how they even able to get in these rooms and to have these conversations.
Because she's over Real Housewives of Atlanta.
I think that's the word that we are not saying that we all really are thinking. She's a scammer. Like she probably got one of them CPN numbers. Is that what they call them down there? I know what I'm talking about.
Girl, she should have got her nice PPP loan.
That's probably how she opened and closed the agency. Because I can't imagine that you opened an agency and closed it. It was doing so well, but like in the course of 3 to 4 years.
I used to sell insurance. I was trying to figure out what she did and I don't know about.
Right. You closed it up. You did so well. Wow.
Okay. Girl, how you get in and do that well?
Yeah, Brit is definitely performative.
Yes.
And we can see through it. Sometimes like Phaedra can get away with her performativeness just because
she got jobs.
She got jobs. She got funny one-liner. I mean, it fits her. That's like, you know what? That's how Phaedra lives her life in general. But Brit is a scammer, honey. Girl. If you ever did see one, that is Brit's. She is not just the worst housewife, but she is the most scammers, the most scammy, the most. We got to come up with something because I'm gonna do a whole like short for her. But yeah, she's the most scammy.
Because even notice, I know I'm jumping ahead, but at the event about the charity and all that stuff, you see Brit's face. I'm like, oh. You in here in a room with people who are donating and giving and all this stuff, and they're talking about things. And to me, she just really seemed out of place.
Yeah, the $250 for that donation kind of solidified that you were in the wrong circle.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah,
and that's probably why.
You.
And it's probably why Kelly is not really friends with her because
you giving me a bad look, girl.
Yeah, Shamea got money. It looks like Brit is on struggle bus because you can't tell me if you're getting your house you're getting renovated and you still got shit out in the open where they got demolition going on. And it look like clothes and junk.
Honey, they
wouldn't even
box up themselves.
You can usually get one of those. You could get a storage pod and put outside in front of your house. I'm like, what the hell is this? Is all her mama shit that they done brought over there? And they didn't move over their mama house. I just thought that was a mess.
It was all a mess.
Girl, they would have came in through the back door. down the basement.
Honey, she could have kept filming outside the way she been doing.
I said, she don't got a walk-out basement. What is going on here? I don't know.
Lord.
That was a mess. But anyways, so then we end up with Kelly and her daughters. They're making breakfast. Kelly's sister comes over. She's gonna make the eggs. Kelly is talking about the stressors about not being able to open the other restaurant. I can't remember. I want to say Sandy Hook. It's Sandy somebody in that area. And then kind of wondering.
Look, ain't that the school?
I know that's a school. It's Sandy something. It's Sandy something. No, it's called Sandy Springs. Sandy Springs.
Okay, I was like, wait a minute.
It was something. It was Sandy something. I knew. Sandy Hook was the school of kids. But yeah, Sandy Springs, I think is what it is called. I've been there before. So she's talking about that, blah, 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 blah. I mean, whatever.
Blah, 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 whatever.
She couldn't, I mean, well, you know, she's still working on this divorce from her husband. The husband went to jail because he won't pay child support and whatever else. Thank God she finally divorced, but we see what Kenya and Mark was together.
I told you. Remember, I told you
when I saw that,
he was in her house. I told y'all that months ago. I told y'all
when I seen them in there. When I seen them in there, I said, Brandy was right. Oh, yes.
And that's why Kenya is on YouTube just as pleasant as ever. She can give you regular D.
She get her back
regular D. Okay.
That's why she wouldn't. Look, she came in. She wasn't even fucking with the girls.
She was on cloud 9. Like,
I got my man back.
And now they both down and out, so he not feeling like he not feeling threatened.
Shut up.
Actually, I'm serious though. Like it's given that, right? They both are in a hard time in their lives. He had to shut down his restaurant. He was evicted from his place. His daughter lives in Atlanta. Of course, he got to make a way to go see his daughter. So what better way than to go live in this house that is paid for by his daughter's mom? And while she try to, struggle and get, I don't know, what is she doing? She got a boot. No, those are her fashions that she got in the window. But I wonder why.
Because she was selling them, girl.
Oh, that's what I was wondering. What she doing in the boutique?
Hell yeah. So
that was, if she was selling her stuff for the pop up. Oh Lord Jesus. Do you know, it reminded me of Wilhelmina from Ugly Betty when she had to sell her stuff to try to buy the magazine. Y'all drop down in the comments. Hashtag Ugly Betty. Cousins, y'all know what I'm talking about. But y'all, Lord, and that's what she had to do, honey.
I think her reunion looks. So she's selling the reunion dresses, I believe.
Okay, well, right, because I could tell from it. I'm like, those hers. I remember seeing her in them. Couldn't even pretend to greet Kelly. Who didn't? Was it Brit?
Let's see.
Fighting over a stylist. Okay, right. Oh yeah, her husband.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad that she is divorced from him. And I feel like Kelly kept it as real as she could about what her issues were, not being able to open up the restaurant. Makes perfect sense to not open up new businesses while you're going through a divorce. So listen, I can see Kelly returning for another season. Not for nothing, all but Brit. I can see everybody returning. Do I want Shamea to come back as a full-time housewife? No. But I can see them all coming back, honestly.
Yeah. I think they said I know Phaedra is supposed to be coming back.
Yeah, and like I said, who knew? Phaedra came in and gave us some comic relief. Like, Phaedra, get you out. Like, shit, I don't want to see you again. Like,
yes. But, yeah, her little reads was a little funny. But now We come to Drew and then Ralph, and Ralph got to ask permission. Can he come upstairs? And then he gets up there and he's on the piano. She's like, you missed that piano? Yeah, I missed the piano. Kids in Chicago. I don't think they getting a divorce for real.
I don't either.
I think it's all a storyline. They was looking too cozy because I'm trying to figure out, after all this good talking together they did, what made them crash out a couple weeks ago.
Who crashed out? Oh,
Ralph.
Ralph did. You're right. I don't
And he
know.
on the reunion too.
It's a scheme that Ty set up for the bullshit. Okay.
Come on, Albert. Because that's what it's all given. So, you know, so they agreed to, you know, be cordial with each other and make it work for the kids. So I don't know why he crashed out, but, you know, put her business out there.
He must have told him she wasn't going to pay him some money or something, because Ralph be showing up and popping up on the scene like Peter. Like he got 10% coming to him.
Ain't Peter supposed to be in jail? And I still see him
on the Peter is walking around in everybody's business but his own. He is, and I thought you were supposed to turn yourself in, but I did happen to see a video just yesterday where he was saying that he does have to turn himself in. He's not giving a date he didn't give us a date, but I guess the post that he posted was just like a random post. But yeah, because he had posted something that seemed like he was actually going to turn himself in. And that's what I'm like, now here you is all up in Simon and Portia's business. Like, excuse you, don't you need to worry about your payments to the IRS and not who paying who over here?
Oh, so maybe he had like 6 months or something before he had turned himself in.
That's what he said. They allowing him to get some of his affairs in order. I don't know what affairs they are, because I'm pretty sure they did not include your take on Simon Goodbody and Portia Williams' divorce.
Girl, because Kenya had a benefit and they took a picture together.
Yeah, I saw them too. I missed it. Did I post? I think I did post it. Okay, I think I did post it. Yeah, I saw it.
Then we come to Lord have mercy. Now it seems like Phaedra calls him a different name, but
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Y'all notice how she changed that man's whole name? Gonna try to repackage and repurpose him to us on this show, like you didn't just see him over on the other show.
What's he called? Shek-Chi?
Chi-Chi.
Chi-Chi. I was like, what the hell?
I don't know.
Did she forget his name?
That's what I was like. Anything check. Like,
girl, I said, first of all, it looks like mother and son to me. I can't help it. The kiss was kind of cringy to me, but Phaedra is known to do that. So I don't know. So she invites him to the Feed the Children event. What you got for that?
I just said, listen, Phaedra knew what time it is. I don't know who got in her ear and told her she had to come over here. She had 3 weeks, 5 weeks, whatever it was, to bring it. And I guess she did. That's the way I looked at it. Let me lay it on. She repurposed this man to us, gave us a whole new name. Like, him had me scratching my head. Like, this is the same guy, right? Like,
and that brings us to Brit and her family. Lord have mercy. Now, you see them sisters? You know the Brit sisters?
You know what? I think I blinked on this one, too.
Girl, how you blink on it, girl? I wonder if she wouldn't have had all that nip and tuck or whatever, would she look like her sisters? They all giving their mama. Unless the daddy was nice looking. That's what they are. So, Brit and her family, they are meeting up with the in-laws at her house because she got married during COVID and the in-laws haven't been properly introduced, I guess. And so they're having them over because ultimately they're planning on having a marriage ceremony, a wedding ceremony, rather. And so the family's there, and the one sister who did all the damn crying and had the bad braids asked, was she pregnant? Because she was kind of looking like she was kind of pregnant in the scene. I'm thinking, is she pregnant? And she was like, no, but that's the plan. So we got past that. Next thing,
we'll never know.
Yeah, we won't. Know. But she windmilling in them comments though, girl.
Is she? Because she been real quiet to me since
oh hell no, she ain't, honey. Okay. She over there windmilling, honey. I didn't see a couple posts today of her clapping back in some of the comment section, especially about Shamea, talking about Shamea's daughter. She did it, honey. So then we have Charles Oakley Foundation, which was established in 2017. And we're going to call this a scheme that's Todd set up. So we got, they get there, and then we have Cynthia wondering where Angela is. Angela on the phone with Drew. They trying to set this shit up because they about to find out who the fuck Marcus is talking about. Came to them to to put her on blast about her husband cheating. So we have Angela gets down there, and they're giving they are, I can't even think of the word I want to use. They're honoring people with different foundations. You have some Meals on Wheels, somebody else feeding kids, and they brought up Portia about her family's foundation, and so they were honoring Portia and Lundy. So then after that, the women all get together and they're talking. Before that, Portia has a breakdown. Somebody singing The Greatest Love of All. Portia breaks down. They all follow Portia out.
It wasn't his eye on the sparrow. No, girl, you know what? I
didn't say that. No, it wasn't eye on the sparrow. It was The Greatest Love of All.
I thought it was his eye on the sparrow.
He said, I believe in children are our future.
No, I think it's his eye on
No, because I was singing the song.
In the comments, people, tell her.
It was, because I was singing it. It was The Greatest Love of All.
Okay.
And, so anyway, she broke down.
I can't imagine that making her cry though, but that's why I'm like, I
don't think she cried because of the song. She cried because of that her cousin was honored too, and she was talking about it. And I think she got kind of full of it. Messy Peter. So yeah, so she breaks out. And you know what? I actually cried. I hate to see people cry. I cried. I said, because I couldn't imagine actually filming a reality show and my cousin die. I mean,
it's unfortunate that she treated your girl so bad during Portia Family Matters. Who said that? Who said that?
So Portia was a bridezilla?
No, Portia wasn't a bridezilla. So Portia Family Matters. So that is when she was got with Simon, and so she was in this mad dash to blend the family, blend Dennis and his mother in together with Simon and all of her family. So she basically rushing everybody to accept her getting married to Simon. And they do this retreat. They go to like Mexico or something. Like I say, and it was a mess.
Is that when they get in a fight or something?
Yeah.
Okay, I heard about it.
So what was it that so like I said, we got introduced better to Lundy there because it was about Portia and her family. So we met like the sister, her dad's sister, and all of that. Lundy, there was this point where they had a conversation where Lundy kind of confronts Portia about Dennis telling her that Portia told him to fire her. So Lundy had worked with him at one of his places or was doing something, and somehow Portia told him to fire Lindy for whatever reason. Like, she wasn't the nicest to the girl on there. She wasn't. So, like I said, with my back turned, it's too bad that that girl better on national television, and now it is on Peacock for everybody to go back see.
I gotta go back and watch it.
You know, and now we have to watch her grieve her cousin, you know, and that's sad. Who said that? Who said that?
Yeah.
Treat people how you want to be treated, Portia.
Yeah. She must don't like too many people getting close to Dennis.
Probably not.
Yeah, I think they still.
That was what it was about. It was something about he still had some stuff in her basement. It was like a Versace robe. They talked Dennis into coming to Mexico by telling him that they would get the robe and return it back to him. She got mad because they snuck the robe out of her house. Like, yeah, it was crazy.
But she wanted Dennis to be happy for her and Simon. Because he was just
a reality TV show though that you could watch, because real talk, that shit had to be going on real time. Because she literally had just, like, all of that stuff had just happened. She literally had just got engaged to Simon. It literally had just come out. And like I said, then they scrambled and did this show. So oddly enough, to see what took place, it was like, that's what I say, it was the realest shit you ever saw, honestly. No lie. No lie.
When it was airing, I caught glimpses of it, but I thought it was, when I saw Portia, I said, oh, this supposed to be Real Housewives. I didn't even look at the title or nothing. And then I ain't never seen nobody else. I'm like, why is it just her family? Right. And I just turned it off.
Yeah, poor Lindy. I know. Rest in peace, Lindy. She was sweet. She seemed really sweet.
Oh, and she's really young. Sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got okay, so it comes down to, here's the setup. They devised a plan to get Marcus there, but they ain't tell Charles. And Charles, look, if he ain't standing up for Angela no day, he stood up that day. He disrespected. He was ready to whip his ass.
Well, she say, look like he's about to enforce some shit.
Yeah. Look, he said he's too old for this shit. She was like, trust me.
He's like, I'm about to knock this man out.
He came up and told my wife, because I'm like, when he said it, I don't know. I said, you definitely knew that Charles couldn't have had heard him say that.
No, for sure.
Because I was like, there ain't no way to work, because he would have got hit with one of them pans for real.
Upside his head.
And only thing I don't like is what I had expressed on in my group. I hate when they play with people's marriages like this, though. It just feels like, okay, it's always somebody's got to be cheating or something or whatever. And to play with somebody's marriage like that, I didn't like it when they did it on Married to Medicine. When they did it with Lisa Nicole, I did not like that at all. Because
now, can somebody tell me, is this the same man? Because they're trying to say that it is.
It is.
I gotta go back. I'm gonna go back and try to see if I can find the episode with the guy that went to Quad's event. But I saw a video, and in the video the person was saying that it was the same person. I just really couldn't tell, you know what I mean, like from that. But that's what I'm like, is it? Because that would be interesting.
Because this guy on the offenders list,
right? Yeah. And you know, I totally agree with you about that. That's why this channel, that's why a lot of my videos I call unpopular opinions, because I think sometimes what some people might be okay with and like, and I don't know, they find relish in, I don't always find relish in that. And I agree with you. Attacking somebody's marriage is not one of them, especially when you kind of reaching for something like it's not something that is like kind of out
up there. Yeah.
ready for us to, pick apart or whatever. I agree. I think we talked about this when it comes to Love and Marriage Huntsville. I
Mhm.
think that sometimes and I say this about a lot of things. You can tell like the mentality of a person almost by what they like or what they kind of like find enjoyment in and stuff.
Yeah.
And so somebody like enjoying to sit around and talk about a husband cheating on his wife and she don't know about it and the whole town's laughing at you, and for that to be something that you would gossip with another person
Yeah.
about, especially somebody in your circle, like, because it's not like what we're doing about the housewives, right? um yeah, that kind of shows that you have a low vibrational lifestyle or
Yes.
mentality, capacity. But I'm
Especially with
using
them
all of
being
these
in your
words
circle.
to sound smart.
Yes. But especially with it being somebody in your circle. That could be it be somebody you don't like. Fine. But our
But even
lives are
somebody you don't like, like it kind of is like being a good shepherd. You know
yeah,
what
but
I'm saying? Like even I don't. For me, I hope to be married one day. So for me, I wouldn't take joy in anybody's marriage falling apart. You know what I mean? I wouldn't find any type of comfort in that. And well, really quick, what it tells me too, the way that they attack some of these women, like Angela. So on Carlos King's interview, she just kind of flat out said that, hey, she didn't say yeah the first time because they were going through problems. That man had been cheating on her. They was trying to get it together, and she didn't trust him. So if she got on the show then, this stuff probably was gonna come out anyway, and it would have sent her, in a tailspin
yeah.
with her marriage. So makes perfect sense. You better trust your husband if you on this platform. Going back to Tisha and Marceau, everybody, excuse me, y'all. Everybody, oh, she's stupid. Oh, you dumb. Your husband cheating on you. Yeah. We ain't got no proof about it. And
None.
yet, it seems to be a foreign concept to see women trust their husbands. That seems to be something that women don't know is supposed to happen in a marriage. Like you're supposed to
Yes.
trust your husband.
Especially, yeah. And yeah, in the Tisha situation, I thought because when Melody came back with that, I'm like, okay, Melody's marriage is tore up. So now you want to burn down everybody else's marriage. I didn't think that was cool at all. And then you already see the lady was when it's at a point where okay, all I can say is when I watched Married to Medicine and seeing how broken Lisa Nicole was, I thought y'all need to leave this girl alone about this because she is about to really flake out. I mean, and then the man cheating with everybody and the man too. Come on now. I mean, this is getting old and it's low hanging fruit.
I agree. I agree. Because, like, think about with Mel and Martell. Nobody on that show had to do anything.
No, they told
When
it.
everything came spilled right on out. It's interesting that it would be somebody else. And that's another thing I don't like about people. Also, whether you know the truth or not, I don't like people thinking they can tell somebody else's story
Yeah,
better than them. If it's their story and they lying about it, let them
that's
have it.
right. Yeah,
Yeah, let them have it. It's theirs to tell. I don't like that. Really bothers me about people. And so yeah, I feel like I compare Angela and Charles' relationship to Camille and Kelsey Grammer.
mm-hmm.
But I've also explained, even from the beginning, that was not me saying that Charles doesn't love his wife. I don't necessarily ever think I thought that. I thought he was unaffectionate, right? And I didn't like that she was placed in these positions that kind of amp that narrative up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't love me, like that thing, like she said on Carlos King. Like, I don't say that to my husband. I would think that you wouldn't if you've been married to him over 10 years and you know that this is, his demeanor, because now it does make you look crazy, right?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So, with that being said, I'm kind of like she says that she trusts Charles now, at least the way she presents herself. I believe that she does. And so I'm gonna hope that she does, because not trusting your husband is definitely gonna have you in somebody's divorce court.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you can't trust your husband, you can't trust your husband. I'm not saying walk around and be a damn fool, necessarily, but like going back to use Tisha and Marcel as the example, nobody has any proof outside of what a liar has said out of his mouth, right?
Yeah.
To them. And I'm saying that I don't know how anybody expects truth from a liar.
Yeah.
Like, how is it that a liar lie about their own life but can turn around and tell you the truth about yours? That don't even make no sense.
And then come with that woman that look like that.
Right. I forgot all about the YouTube video. Right. So, make it make sense. That's what we talking about when we say make it make sense. Like, make that make sense. You can't, and that's where people are wrong. That's where people, their hate for somebody overshadows like what's right and what's not, what's true and what's not. Because even with Portia, people love to hate her so much. Is it because y'all can't beat her? Is that what it is? Because what was wrong with what happened in her settlement with Simon? Absolutely nothing. That is exactly why a prenup exists. True. So that you can have it enforced and so that you can cut it it all out.
Do you think it's going to get enforced though, since he's over in Nashville?
He is already. So yeah, they finalized.
I know it's finalized, but I mean, how are they going to make him pay it?
Oh, well, as far as him paying, because I kind of said to myself that, well, he could just not pay her, I don't know, I don't know, because listen, and I'm not the one that's going to talk to y'all like I know some stuff. I don't know. I don't know how none of that work. I don't know if they going to be able to hold a bank account he got here and automatically draft if he got to do it. Yeah, I don't know how that works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but listen, whether he pays it or not, I feel like her being able to stay in the house for the time frame that she got really is the offset, because that's all of that amount that $40 a month is, I think, was like for the mortgage, right?
I don't know.
I think
that's out of my tax bracket. I don't know.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not finna sit up here and try to tell y'all how to even handle their money. Like, I have no
idea. Yeah, what I know about a $40,000 a month house payment? Not a damn thing.
A $40,000 a month anything, if that is gonna probably be a bill, and I'm gonna pass the hell out. Like,
I'm not, because I ain't gonna pay it. So shit.
Well, I'm saying, like, I don't know how these people handle these affairs like this with all of these thousands of dollars going into in and out of their bank accounts. I don't know how. Okay,
I don't know it either. I don't know it. Drew don't know it, and Brit damn sure don't know it either.
Okay, Brit, Brit don't know a lot.
Oh, Lordy.
What the old folks say? Brit, they ain't got a pot to piss in, or a window to throw it out of.
Girl,
And that's literal because we saw it on the show, right?
girl, we straight saw it. When I seen all that junk in that corner, I said, "Oh shit, ain't no way, yeah, you wouldn't have came in my house like that." I think Charles is
Okay, I
just,
think Charles is
yeah, he
stoic.
stole
I
it.
think you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah, and he's from an age group that would make sense for men. He's an athlete, like all of that makes sense. So, back to, I don't think I finished that whole thought about Kelsey Grammer and Camille and these two. Like I said before, the major difference between them is the fact that Kelsey and Camille, Kelsey was not around. He was always somewhere filming, doing whatever he was doing. And Camille was always letting us know how much he loves her and how, much he wants her to be happy, XYZ. The few times that he did come and was on camera, girl, we did not see the love or feel it. So we was just kind of like, girl, and I already told y'all they ended up getting a divorce after the season aired. Which that all made sense to everybody watching because yeah, girl, we didn't. The difference between Charles and Angela is, to her point, he is showing up.
yeah, he is. He said, "I'm the only husband here."
And you know what? Let me shut the F up because you're right. Like because you're right. And that's a hell of a lot more than you can ask for some of these, all these other ones. So listen, yeah, what we say, if she like it, we love it. They usually mean like we don't believe it, but I believe it, and we gonna hope that they do well.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Okay. Simon.
She can stay in it for 14 months. I think that's the time frame. And then, I think is he paying? So
I
it's
think she
something
has to
like
get the mortgage in her name. Is what
yeah, and then after that, she has to take on the
yeah.
house and put it in her name, or sell it, and they have to basically split the equity. And,
That's how she'll get her
and
money.
listen, and if not for nothing, that's the fairest thing that could have happened, especially with somebody you done got jumped into a marriage, you didn't know them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was the fairest way to do it. We happy for Portia in that regard.
Oh yeah, I'm happy anytime woman get some money.
Okay. Yes, you gotta see
Yeah,
Brit
yes.
house, honey. That
When
house is
Cynthia and Portia comes over there, and she ain't even ashamed about it.
oh, Kelsey was mean to Camille. I mean, yeah, like I say, once we found out they was getting a divorce, it all made sense then. But yeah, while we was watching, we was just like, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" Now let's get into Angela with this Marcus deal.
Yeah.
And bringing him on, and she is very adamant that Phaedra is who sent him. Now listen, I saw Phaedra's clip on Watch What Happens, and Phaedra can be convincing because she did convince me. I was kind of like, yeah, girl, you have only been here
Yeah.
a few weeks. Like, how is it that
Yeah,
you
but she
have
came
been?
in reading the girls down. I think Phaedra did it.
Do you think Phaedra did it?
Yeah, yeah. I think she did it.
Well, now it didn't help her by the way she got in that car and called them girls on the phone.
Girl, I done did it too though. Girl, let me tell you, I would have told my good friend, but I would have.
Sure, there was somebody I would have called to tell myself.
Yeah, but I don't think I would have did it on camera. Not like she did it. I mean, she was too giddy to get that out.
Yeah, so that's what made me say, like, when Angela was first saying it, I was like, yeah, I can see it. But like I said, listen, Phaedra got me fooled because I do kind of feel like that does feel a little off balance. Like, Phaedra, you just got your big toe in here. Like, I know damn well you ain't jumping, like coming in with those shenanigans. So, what made sense on the episode was what Shamea said, taking it back to Brit.
Yeah.
I felt like that made, like, out of just logically, because okay, it's already illogical to go get somebody to come and tell them, and I feel like that's a play that the girls play all the time, especially let's say like I feel like we know that he's faking, but let's just say in a real scenario, the girls are out. Oh, we saw it with Candy. What was it? Portia. Remember when she had the baby when they came back and the girl was in the restaurant and she went over to Candy. Who else was there? Cynthia. Some the girls was there to kind of say like, I don't know, Dennis, because the bloggers were
Oh
saying,
yeah.
so she like, no, I just came over to say I don't know Dennis, blah blah blah. And so then they went and took, that information to Portia. Um, so I like it's not like it's that type of instance. I don't I guess I'm getting ready to, I'm just trying to say that the girls kind of play those games all the time where somebody is bringing them some information. They'll say like, oh, well, come to the party so you can let so-and-so know, or so, we can have a conversation about it. That did it. I don't know what this is about, but I am going with Shamea. I think Shamea kind of called it right. It feels like a Brit move. I think I was like, Phaedra feels like that's too easy.
Okay, so wait a minute. Remember when? Okay, so when all this debacle was happening, Shamea's going at Brit, talking because she wanted to beat her ass, and she go, "You threatening me, not ho. That's what you do." Now, when Brit was walking off and had them to take the microphones off, didn't she say these women are beneath her or something like that?
That's what she said, girl. That's what her broke ass said. Yes.
Well, wait a minute. I don't know if Brit could have did it because the man said when he's supposed to been paid to do it.
Brit is finding her way in some interesting rooms. So I listen. I can't put it past her. It just feels like a grimy move that she could be behind. And like I said, now I'm buying Phaedra's excuse, like just to say that it just doesn't feel like that would make sense that her first season back off of leaving a season with such a like devastating rumor that you would be at the center of of something else like that.
Did you see the interview Phaedra did with Jason Lee?
Who did the cookie lady? Yeah, that was Kenya. Yeah, that was Kenya.
That was dog dirty. I ain't like that.
Oh yeah, I didn't like that at all either.
Man, because I would have cussed out. I would have.
She didn't have her man then because she was too busy running up behind the cookie lady. She should have been running up behind her own damn husband.
Girl,
that's what he said. She say, "Dang, now you ain't even got one." Like somehow you trying to tell somebody else about their husband. Now you ain't even got your husband.
You just as mad about a wig,
right?
That we all know you had a wig on. Her broke ass said.
Yes, look, yeah, like I'm sorry that came out so just like because it came out of her mouth so easily. I thought to myself, no, she didn't. Like no, she didn't. I would go if I was Shamea. Look, because I'm just assuming Shamea got more money than all the other girls on the show right now. I would go to those execs and be like, now who y'all think y'all playing with, putting me in the same room with this girl?
With the likes of her? This streetwalker here? Who this hoe? No.
Who y'all playing games with? Now, Portia seemed to think that Angela might have set it up for herself. So do we think Angela could have set this up for herself?
I don't think so. Not when she's talking to that therapist. That's why I feel like that it was a hurtful thing to her. And if she set it up for herself, why would she not, tell her husband this is a storyline I'm gonna use? Because he seemed like he definitely didn't know what the fuck was going on. And that little man was about to get his ass whooped.
Yeah, he was about to get his tail.
So I don't believe that Angela set that up. I don't. Now, that's why I think, I'm still, well, it could possibly be Brit, but the man said he got paid. Now, I don't know how the fuck Brit paid him. And then, they say Junebug
on our TV screens. So she got something sitting somewhere. She paid somebody, she paid somebody to get on this show this season. And that's why I'm kind of like that's why I'm surprised that scammer is the first time that word has come up with Brit's name in a sentence. Because yeah, she's a scammer. She got to be. She's scamming her way right on the biggest reality TV show pretty much in reality TV history.
And fuck that up.
And messed
because this, this, if you're doing reality shows, this is the show you really want to be on.
That's what I'm saying. It's the creme de la creme of Real Housewives franchise, of Bravo. Even the people on Traders, tell the people how, they treat the housewives like royalty, while everybody else get what is left. And listen, I've said it umpteen times, rightfully so. I watched the Housewives franchise build Bravo to what it is right now today. Our shows built Bravo right now to what it is today. It does totally annoy me that every time it's one of our shows outside of Atlanta Housewives, they are getting canceled. They don't get photo shoots. They don't get reunions. They are treated, and yet, Below Deck. Below Deck has 4 or 5 different franchises. And who in the hell is watching Below Deck?
Girl, only reason why it be on my TV because I fell asleep and Bravo was on there.
I know. Now, I have watched Below Deck, but do I go every season to watch the new season, to watch it every week? Absolutely not.
I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, they got about 4 different shows of all Below Deck Australia, Below Deck Mediterranean, Below Deck this, Below Deck that, and yet a Summer House Martha's Vineyard can't get past 2 seasons. That's the thing that it does just grind my gears about this, because Real Housewives of Atlanta, while the season was just lackluster, it was certainly better than 14 and 15. So we're gonna give a hand clap. The ladies did come through. They come through and they gave what needed to be given. And we happy about that. But like I said, I feel like Atlanta Housewives is it's the franchise that built that channel, that built that network. Kind of like that's what they have a saying about Peyton Manning, right? And Lucas Oil Stadium, that it's the house that Manning built. Because he won the things, and the money that he circulated for the people to come watch those games helped build that field house. And that's the same for Real Housewives of Atlanta in reference to Bravo TV. Real Housewives of Atlanta put that entire station on the map. Not even Project Runway did it when they took it from Lifetime and put it over there on Bravo. That goes to tell you how long I've been watching Bravo.
Okay, because I sure went on it.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. How long I've been watching Bravo. They took Project Runway from Lifetime and started airing it on Bravo. And this is kind of right before the Housewives, because this is when Tabitha's Salon, and you know what I mean? It was all of that type of stuff that was coming on. But again, Atlanta Housewives. That's the reason why we able to have BravoCon. That's the reason why we got all these bloggers, why we doing, it's all from Atlanta.
Wow.
It's all from Atlanta. So, like I said, shouts out to the girls. Brit was a mistake. I don't know how she got on there. She scammed her way in. I'm not sure why I am the first person to put those two words together. Brit is a scammer, 3 words. But Brit is a scammer, and she scammed her way on our televisions. And the reason why we know she scammed her way onto our televisions is she didn't bother to show up for the reunion because she knew that she had
Oh, yeah.
been dead.
Yes. And I believe too, maybe so. That's one reason why she don't want to come on to the reunion, because maybe they have found out that she is behind that guy being on there too then.
Yeah.
So she left, remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. When she was talking about she had invited him to the event. Honey, Brit was inviting anybody who would show up.
And wouldn't feed them.
Below Deck is always on. Yeah, it is. They got enough of him. That's what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been sleeping with him.
Who is watching that? But they get season after season after season.
Girl, because it come on the wee hours, and you'd fall asleep with the TV on. It's just playing.
I guess you're right. That's where the ratings came from.
Yes.
People keep checking out of the reunions. Oh, I'm sorry. Got the hiccups, y'all.
So that's all I pretty much got, versus you see what I said, friendships break down. There's alleged rumors of infidelity.
Put a pin in that. Let's go back to that. I love the way Shamea just kind of glossed right over that real quick, because it was like, did she say it's rumors about her cheating on her husband? Because that's the first time I had heard that when it came out of Brit mouth.
Well, maybe she's talking about, hell, I don't know. Maybe the whole thing about what Phaedra has said in season 9. I don't know.
I thought that was interesting, but okay. Shamea said, "Whatever, honey. Gerald ain't worried. I'm about to give him another one of these babies."
Uh-huh. Yes, honey. She said, not since when she said, your cat was a kitten.
Oh, right. Kitty. That's funny. I did I said, I like Drew and Shamea's like banter about the songs and stuff. I thought it was funny. Drew is giving friend of. I agree with one of our commenters. She definitely is giving friend of. If I could say anything, I could almost do without Drew.
Yeah.
Almost do without Drew. Hold on, guys. I gotta go to the restroom.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll just talk about that. I think that Drew, at one time when they put Ralph up in the confessional, I was like, I'll be damned. And I think most of the scenes Drew had, to me, she wasn't given a whole lot. I mean, but of course, she became kind of everybody's kind of storyline one moment or something, but yeah, Drew, I think her mind was not really on this season. I don't feel like it don't seem like she was trying hard enough or whatever. She had a couple things to say, and then she was out. So she was on the same level as Cynthia, and Cynthia, was over it. She went for all that drama. The auntie was auntie for real. And who do you guys think was the most valuable player? Like I said, it was Angela this season. Let us know in the comments who you think was the most valuable player. And who do you think should show up? Should come back next year for season 17? Or who would you like to see, and who would you not want to see come back?
I'm back, y'all.
So I was just asking them who would they like to see come back next season.
What would say? No Brit, no Kenya. Okay, no Brit, no Kenya. Well, we'll see about it. I okay with Kenya not coming back, because the funny thing is, like, I didn't miss her.
I didn't either, but I kind of felt sorry. But now since I see Mark in that video, I want to know what the hell going on.
She ain't about to tell us, honey. And listen, her best bet might be to stay off the show, because if she get her ass back on the show, Mark gonna go running off some damn well. So she better keep it just like it is. Like, she want her man to stay at home, keep getting that good regular D. Okay.
Girl.
Because that man good is gone. She get her ass back on this television.
Girl, he was a whole mess. I mean, I loved it because she got on my nerves so bad. And how she did other people in their marriages, I thought, oh, this is karma for her.
Yes, yes.
Oh, my goodness. How she did. I mean, especially how she came at Portia's, their first season about her husband, and just kind of just kept, I'm like, girl.
Yeah.
Please stop. Because I hate it when, if you're not married, then when you get married, then
now all of a sudden you understand, respecting people's spouses, and all like, even we'll go as far as to, oh, Apollo, he kind of fine. That's somebody's husband. You didn't have no business, saying that in your confessional or anything else. That's somebody's husband.
She did the same thing with Ralph.
She did.
I'm like, girl, please quit.
Yeah. So, but like we said, we know Mark is down on his luck. What do them raggedy ass baby daddies do when they are down on their luck?
Girl, tuck their tails and come on back home. They let them.
That's all I'm saying.
Girl.
But we want her to, and I know how much that she wants, you know what I mean, her family and stuff. So for her sake, I hope that she get it. But that's why I'm saying, like, no, she don't need to. She might need to do some other things. Maybe she should go on Traders. Which, oh my God, y'all! How about Portia? Dorinda is coming back. It's somebody else. But they're gonna be on the next season of Traders. I'm feeling like it should be good.
And even though gonna be on there,
Candace, right? That's what I was trying to think of who else it was. So, yep, Candace is gonna be on there. I expect Portia to be gone pretty soon, pretty fast. But we shall see. I can't wait till that come out. And Love and Mirrors Huntsville is back July 19th, guys. So you already know we are going to review.
Okay. I can't wait.
And listen, how happy are we that they're getting back soon?
Girl, I can't wait.
I can't wait either. So
I gotta see what this dynamic is going to be without Melody there.
Without Mel, that's what I'm like. I'm interested to just see what's going on. So make sure, if you have not already liked this video, make sure that you do like this video. We appreciate all of the support. Make sure you are subscribed to our channels, okay? And hit the bell notification so you can be notified when another video is uploaded. Sometimes I don't get my notifications too.
I didn't get any notifications either. So
yeah, so I don't know. Sometimes YouTube just really be kind of tripping. But still hit that bell notification anyway, because you never know. You never ever know. So we got a 3-part reunion coming up for Housewives. Of course, we'll be back on Monday to do the first part of the reunion.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not even gonna hold y'all. First part of the reunion be kind of boring. Listen, yeah, we'll be back next week, but I'm just saying it might be a short live.
We have to do a little catching up. That's
interested to know what is they even talking about for 3 episodes.
Girl, we already see they're gonna have the hot dog man and the basement man up there. So shit.
But that go back to, I still don't understand what they're talking about for 3 episodes. Brit is not there, so you're not talking about none of that stuff. Even if she had been there, so this goes back to the point you made about Carlos saying that they just should have scrapped it all, because they still wouldn't have been able to talk about it that much because only Brit was there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so it still would have felt out of balance, to have her talking about it. And so now with her not there, what are they talking about? I mean, yeah, clearly Drew and Portia is talking about this thing with the songs, but for 3 episodes?
I don't know, because I was wondering, even once she decided not to come and then she did the lawsuit, were they going to make it, have to go back in and edit it even more because of the lawsuit, or what they could say or what they can't say or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
So what these 3 episodes gonna get us? I don't know. Hopefully it's entertaining. But shit, they bringing up Candy's name hell. So
let's just hope that it is entertaining.
I'm
But
hoping it is.
I feel like they did. I'm giving the season. Y'all already know for the episodes I've been pulling about average. Most of the episodes I was giving was saying like 5s and 6s really.
Yeah.
And so that's where I end, is just kind of saying that the season was good. The season was a refreshing season off of the last 2 seasons of 14 and 15. Those seasons were horrible and painful to get through. This one was not so much. Painful moments, painful housewives, but it kind of gave us some of what we've been missing.
I guess Cousin Phaedra came back.
I guess you might be right. And Angela giving us a little bit of her old school, like housewife kind of sprinkled in there.
Yeah.
Of course, we got Portia giving what she gives, even though Portia really did not have a lot of story. That go back to people love to hate Portia. Like y'all need to get some self-esteem, because how is it that everybody forgot that man was like trolling her? I get, and here's the other part I'm gonna say to Portia. Smart move, Portia. Smart move to keep that man's name out your mouth as much as you could. Because even though nobody knew that man would be detained for most of the season while it was airing, I feel like even though he did the interview with Page Six, that interview was not as bad as it sounded, even though he said he thought she staged a coup for him, but it wasn't as bad as it sounded, to the extent of he was just responding to what had been said. So if there had been any other things, right, that had been said, then he probably would have been spewing out, some more things. But I feel like he generalized, responded to what had been given to us already. And that just kind of, and of course he should be grateful to be free out of the ICE custody. And I guess he probably just want to move past this whole ordeal, and we don't blame him because we want to move past too. But yeah, I'm like, give Portia a break. She wasn't able to really talk much about Simon, and thank God she didn't, because I feel like it would have caused extra drama now. So now she can film in her house. We got to see them come back to the house 5 months later, right? So now she can film in the house and she can go on about her life. Here's the other thing that I don't want to talk about while I'm on Simon and Portia really quick. I think I mentioned this to you before. Why are we taking this divorce like this girl been married to this man for 5 or 10 years or something? It was barely 2 years. I thought the waiting to exhale thing was cute, but I thought it was out of context. That man didn't cheat on you. You wasn't married to this man for over a decade. Like the whole story, you're not Bernadine, girl. But it was cute or whatever.
Girl, she said she was waiting to exhale, honey.
I know she was though, because we was all waiting to exhale, not for nothing. He was getting on all of our fucking nerves.
I was your lover and your secretary.
Well, I'm just saying, look, I'm a Gemini. I think I don't know, high functioning. And so like little stuff like that just kind of like, it's kind of like, yeah, but it's out of context. It's out of context. And so
somebody else said that. You not Bernadine. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not Bernadine, girl. That man did somebody wrong, but it wasn't you. That's all I'm saying.
Which was Portia? Wife number 3 or 4?
I think she said the 4th. I think she thought she was the 3rd wife and ended up finding out she was the 4th.
Lord have mercy. Well, I guess.
And here's the thing, and this is the other thing. This is why Portia family matters. Dennis has a conversation with Simon. In that conversation, Simon says to Dennis, I pay movers for things like that. Because they were talking about Dennis's stuff still being at Portia's house. And he was saying, like, asking Simon if he could help him get his things out of her house. And so he kind of said, he's like, you like your stuff still sitting over there? And so he like, well, he said, yeah, I have movers for things like this. And so Dennis kind of looked at him like, oh, and everybody took, that's exactly what he said. Basically, he called them when it's over with his ex-wife. He called the movers in. They packed their stuff up and sent it off to wherever it is she done went her tail to. So this is what's wrong with Simon. He mad because he usually do the putting out, and he got put out, not just out of his house, but out
of the country. They see him moving and packed away over there.
That's ironic that that's the last thing we're gonna see come out your mouth on national television is that you pack people up, and baby, they done packed you up. Like, they done packed your ass up and sent you home.
Poetic justice, honey. Poetic justice.
That is poetic justice. Oh my God. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. It was so good to do another live with you.
Yes, girl.
So listen, be on your P's and Q's so we can knock these damn reunions out.
Girl, as long as life ain't lifing, because life been
I know how it be. I know how it be.
Yeah. So, but yes. So we'll be back on Monday about the same time.
Same Batman channel. Same Batman channel.
Yes.
That's funny. Yeah. I never used to watch that Batman, but I know that.
Oh,
I did watch Batman. I did watch that. I'm lying.
The old
we didn't have that much TV. Of course, I watched it.
Well, this was good. So, thank you guys for your time. You guys have a great evening.
Yes, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like on the video, and the bell notification. Okay.
Yes, please share.
I'll see y'all tomorrow. Make sure you subscribe because we're gonna do Basketball Wives. We gotta catch up on Basketball Wives. I had been doing the recaps, but I feel like I ain't recapped since episode 4. We might be on about episode 7 right now. So we just gonna recap it all. Okay. Yes. Jackie is Jackie.
Okay.
So
her daughters are daughtering too, aren't they?
Yeah, the daughters are daughtering, honey. Yeah. And that, that was a problem I saw. It was a scheme that Ty set up for him to come to you with the bullshit.
Come on, Alberta. She gonna be infamous with that, honey.
Wait, but I love how she pushed her head back from the table like she had just said something. She just gave a word, honey.
Yes, she did.
It was a scheme that Todd set up for him to come to you with the bullshit.
Wait a minute. I've always tried to look for that. What is that in? Is that on Candy and the Gang, or is that on them getting married?
It's
or is that
No, it's on Real Housewives.
It is.
And I gotta, it's the season where they getting married. I
Okay.
know what's going on. Basically, Mama Joyce has tried to get somebody to get a picture with Todd.
Okay. Okay.
So that right, I just can't remember exactly the season, but that's what's happening in
So
the
like
episode.
it's Todd's fault. Todd is the one set it up.
Right, right. That's what because that's what Candy was coming to say. Like, okay, she didn't talk to the people, and they basically was saying that because it was the guy, that what's Candy Mama name? Mama Joyce.
Mama Joyce.
That she had talked to him like, oh well, if you see him do it again, see if you can get a picture of him or something. So Candy is telling them like this is the story that they got, and that's what Bertha came like, well, maybe the guy is lying to you, like. But you know what I love most about that, just to think about it, and Liz, it's gonna probably put a little tear in my eye. Y'all gonna hear me talk more about this type of stuff too. So I'm kind of like an only child. I do have 2 siblings. They're younger than me. But I don't really have like a sibling relationship with them. And so what I loved about that is that sibling thing where I don't give a damn what you said. My sister ain't did that because that's what that's what Umberto was saying. Like, I don't give a doggone who said what. That ain't what had happened. And I just, sometimes I think about the fact that I kind of don't have that thing, a person out here in the world that's got my back, and like I don't give a damn what. Like, I could tell you that the sky is yellow, and she gonna be like, "Yep, it is." Like,
girl, that old lady gang wasn't having it.
Huh?
That old lady gang wasn't having it, honey.
Okay, yeah, they stick together, honey. Yes, even when Mama Joyce was trying to get Carmen in that bridal shop, honey, they told Carmen, "You get your tail up out of here." And see, and that's what's funny. Let me tell y'all, that's why my family, because I got the type of family that will do the opposite. And loyalty ain't nothing, but when you find it, baby, you cherish it, because that's loyal. Like, it's not even about upholding somebody's wrong, because right, Mama Joyce was wrong, right, for trying to fight that girl. All I'm saying is her sisters got her back, and if they go, and whenever they telling her she wrong, baby, we ain't about to hear it. They gonna tell her behind them closed doors.
That's right. That's right.
So anyway,
all righty then. Good night, y'all.
Rest of your week. Oh yeah, and Diddy is the jury is out, so I guess we'll be figuring out what's going on with that too. Hopefully later on this week, on holiday week, so everybody enjoy your holiday this weekend. Yes. If you don't check back in, and yeah, that's all. Look, that's all.
Yeah, look, I'm getting sleepy.
I know.
Eyes are low. They low. All righty then.
We out of here. Thanks for tuning in us on this Monday night.
All right.
Have a good rest of your week.
See ya.